Yes guys, today we're back with another Speed Garage banger. We're going to be looking at Soulmash Transit System's Jumpin'. I genuinely still believe that Speed Garage or Garage is the best drum run you could be making this year. If you look at some of the main players, so your Soulmash Transit System, Silver Bumpers, Interplanetary Criminal, Mainface, Prozac, all the sort of, you know, the big guys in the scene, and there's plenty of them. They're all getting tons and tons of gigs. If I just show you their Spotify's quickly, like just example, Silver Bumper, 219,000 monthly listeners, and look, he's got 23 gigs. And yeah, he's one of the, obviously the bigger ones, but if we have a look at, say, Soulmash Transit System, who we're covering today, he's got 55,000 monthly listeners, which is a fair amount, but it's not crazy. And look, he's got all these gigs lined up all summer into winter. It's crazy. Interplanetary Criminal, obviously the absolute top dog of the scene. I have no doubt he's gonna have fucking thousands. 25 gigs. Mainface, 100k, 9 gigs. If you look at these, and they're not even just, oh, they're all in England. Look, he's got one in like Copenhagen, Brighton, Amsterdam. So these guys are getting to travel the world and play out some fucking UK garage beats. So what more do you really want than that? So if you look at someone who, let's say, makes like house music, so for example Silk, he makes house music, right? Or some sort of stutter house. He's got 290k monthlies and he's got 1 gig in Hamburg. If there's any related to him, I take it makes house as well as it's related. Got 405 and only 3 gigs. So like the amount of gigs that these people are getting are nowhere near that as the Speed Garage crew. Anyway guys, enough chatting, let's get straight into it. And if you watch to the end, I'll show you a trick to make your single tracks just a little bit better. This is what you'll have made by the end of the video.
Watch this! Everybody in the dance tonight! Put your hands in the air! Jump, 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 jump!
Great, so let's firstly look at the MIDI. The MIDI is kind of all over the place. We're in the key of F sharp minor. So if you want to pause the video here, copy this MIDI, it might be easier to follow along on the sound design. Just one takeaway is that the notes are always moving. As you can see, there's never really 2 notes at the same. They're always fluctuating onto the next. But yeah, feel free to pause the video and copy this. I'm not going to go into it too much. Great, and now let's make the bass sound itself using Serum. Just to let you know, this preset is from my Speed Garage Volume 2 pack. The pack has over 60 presets making Speed Garage like your favorite Speed Garage producer. So yeah, definitely check that out. The link for that is in the description. Cool, I'm now going to show you how to make it from scratch. Obviously, if you've got the pack, it's the preset zeros. But yeah, let me show you how to make something very, very similar from scratch. Great, so menu, initiate the preset. You can just turn both these oscillators on, pitch them down by 2 octaves. This is what it's going to sound like. You then want to detune this one to like -27 and this one to +27. Turn this filter on and MG Low 24. Make sure B is also selected. Put on notes mode. And then we're going to pick out the resonance. So bring this up to like literally 50%. Bring up the drive. Now it's for you to sort of move this cutoff filter. And decide what sort of resonance you want. So, I mean, to me, that sounds pretty good. There's your fat. So I've set up for 274 Hertz. You can obviously maybe go higher, lower, it's kind of up to you. Another thing you can do is add a noise. So what you can also do is come to analog and maybe add some white noise. So I've gone for the pink one. This basically helps to make it a bit like rusty, sort of analog. What you can do is also click that piano mode. Maybe pitch it up. With the level, kind of leave that pretty low, just keep it kind of minimal. Just sort of that like vinyl hiss makes it sound more analog. And we could also do is come over here and you could make it wider. So if you bring this hyper down, we bring this dimension up. Make sure that size is down. And bring that mix nowhere really above 30. But I'm gonna prefer mine without, so I'm gonna leave that without. You could also obviously come, add as distortion. Bring the mix down, bring the drive up. And of course, a trusty reverb. Bring that low cut up. Decay right down. Maybe about 12%. Expect with a plate. Alpha Hall. Great, and that is pretty much it for the Reese bass. You'll notice also I've got an EQ, so I'm just boosting some stuff at about 70 Hertz and taking out a little bit of the muddiness at 261. But obviously that's optional. You can also come with an EQ and really like drive it up like that, but then you probably want to take away that noise, otherwise it's going to stand out just a little bit too much. Great, now we've got the Reese bass, we can have a look at the drums. I can't lie, I do actually really like these drums. So we start from the bottom and work our way up. So first we obviously have this kick. It's a really nice thumpy kick. And one thing I'm doing to make it thumpy is using this glue compressor. You can also use the Ableton one, it's the exact same plugin. So you go to output, glue compressor, and then I've used like a preset which actually isn't on here, but if you've got this plugin it is. So you can obviously copy the exact settings with this, so just bring the makeup up a little bit, bring that threshold down to about -20, something like that, -15, leave the attack, drop the release, leave the ratio, and then look, that's exactly the same as that. But yeah, this makes it really kind of thumpy, you know. So without it, with it, without it, with it. You can hear it more on the high end. It just helps the kick really punch through the mix. You probably won't be able to hear that if you're just listening on laptop speakers, but yeah, it really does make a difference if you're listening on headphones. But yeah, that kick is obviously falling on every single beat, just straight forward to the floor, pretty simple stuff. And then we have another layer, which is a ride. Just to let you know, all these drums are from my Speed Garage Volume 3 drums pack. You can get that from the link in the description. This pack basically makes it so easy to just drag and drop in loops, singles, one-shots, all that sort of shit. It's also got the cool Ragga effects, which you kind of need when you're making Speed Garage. Like if we look, for example, Speed Garage 3, effects, Ragga, dub sirens. These are copyright free because they have been synthesized. I mean, they sound very similar, but they've been synthesized, so they're copyright free. So yeah, what we were saying, we were talking about this ride. So it's also pushing up and down. Helps create a lot of energy. So the bottom note is lower down a velocity and that one's higher up, and then that just repeats itself. It's a pretty simple ride, it's sort of like a 909-y sort of scratchy ride. We've also got this kickstart on top, which is helping it duck a lot. See, without that, then it's sort of not ducking enough. So we've got this kickstart, which is a bit of side chain. If we listen to that in context of the mix, like get rid of it, we've suddenly lost that like energy, right? Put it back on. It's the hi-hats that sort of give the energy of track. If I got rid of the hi-hats completely, there's no energy, right? It's like, it's all bass. People think bass is energy, but to me, hi-hats is all the energy. Like, that's where all the hype comes from. Great, and then on top of that, we've got this clap. That's just on every offbeat. And of course, bringing it all together is this top loop, which, as I said, it's from that Speed Garage 3-pack. Without that, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, why are you using loops? Oh, why are you using loops? All your favourite producers use loops. So if we look at Silver Bumper's project here, you'll notice that here's his drums. He's got some one-shots, of course, like we have. But, look, he's got these fucking loops. He's got this tambourine loop, he's got this other loop, he's got this loop down here. And yeah, look, there's even another one just called loops. He's got a hell of a lot of drum layers. Just use loops, guys. Don't be afraid of loops. If it sounds good, then use it. If it doesn't, then don't. Don't force yourself to use loops, but definitely don't be like, oh, I don't want to use loops, I want to be really original. Because everyone's using loops. But yeah, if you have a look at Interplanetary Criminals drums on this video, you can see here, he's got 2 drum loops and then the single shots here. So literally like what we've got. But obviously in my case, I'd choose 1 drum loop. I tried it with 2, but it sounded better with 1. Great, so now we've got the drums, we can look at the extra stuff, so the sort of effects. So in this build, we have this shotgun, which is from that same pack. It's basically just 2 shotgun shots doubled up. And yeah, it helps give a really nice in-your-face fucking pre-drop. Dub siren. It's always nice to just jot these about. And then we've got this laser shot. So we've really gotten the 3 classics. It's like shotguns, dub sirens, and laser shots. It's like the essential Speed Garage shit. And then you'll also notice this, which is kind of an effect, but kind of a synth, right? But the notes look like this. So it's basically on every offbeat and then on the beat, and that just repeats itself, and that's coming in with an auto filter. But what it is a synthesizer. And so we're back on Serum for this. And yeah, again, it's a preset from that Speed Garage 2-pack. I'll show you quickly how to make something very similar from scratch. So it's basically built off these saw waves. So if we initiate the preset, we can just leave the saw waves as they are. And let's detune one +29 and let's bring up the unison. It's going to sound like this. We're then going to bring up on oscillator A, the unison again, bring it back 5. And you can hear it's pretty similar already. Let's add some chorus to make it sort of sound old school. You can add some reverb. So I'd probably go for a plate on this one. Bring the chorus down a bit. I mean, that is pretty much it. You could also play around with the detune. Quite like the original one in the preset's a little bit more fine-tuned. But yeah, you get the idea. You can just play around this sort of detunes and the sort of reverb. Maybe add a bit of distortion as well. Yeah, I've added a tape saturation distortion. I think that really helps to bring out that old school sort of sound. Pro tip, if your track's sounding boring, try adding some crowd noise. This is sat in the background. Without it, look, the track's got no ambience, right? Ambience. But as soon as that crowd noise is on, everyone's loving it. I'm loving it. So it's like, it just makes you feel like it's the fucking best song ever. And it fills out to the quietness at the start. And without it, it's very quiet. There's not a lot going on in the back. Put that on. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new in that video, and good luck making yourself a Speed Garage banger.